stuff when you want to. I mean, we used to all give a shit what time we were home to see our favorite program. You remember you actually liked that program, Friends? No, you never liked that shit. But people came home to see television, whether it was news, whatever it was. But now, of course, we watch when we want. We listen when we want. I have this Australian public radio show that I've been putting off for like a week. But I'll get to it. And that's the beauty of media on demand. And that really came to rise in the last few years, in the last 6 years to be exact. And of course, portability, we talked about that. False slide. Okay, desire to be genuine. Weirdest thing about watching the news, for me, is that everything has to be perfect. I used to work for different news programs, and everything had to be perfect. You say the right thing, you look perfect, there's a makeup person, everyone has these fucking microphones, sometimes, especially if anybody watch Belgian news? I do, for fun. And they're all like, it looks like a space station, and they're giving you the news. I don't know why I need to get my news from a space station, but it makes me feel good. That lady, she got the really short haircut and this microphone. Dit was het nieuws. She's so cool. And it always has to look perfect. Can I drink? Rob did that. Okay. The beauty, of course, for a lot of people, not everybody, because sometimes the shaking gets annoying, is that with podcasts and with video blogs, you have this beautiful imperfection. Humanness, because humans are imperfect. Now I'm your religious teacher. And a lot of people enjoy that to a certain extent. We enjoy getting the human side, imperfect media. You say the wrong thing sometimes, which is risky, but there's something great about being genuine. You all know about broadband because you all live off it. It goes directly into your veins. I see the IV being distributed. And there's real statistics from Pew. I didn't bring them, fuck that. But as of 2004, I declare, broadband adoption was extremely widespread, especially in Europe, depending on where you were, as long as you're not in Portugal, or Italy for that matter. A little tricky, but broadband had really reached a level where a lot of people, that's very specific, a lot of people had broadband, and as a result, of course, they can download these huge video files that are getting smaller, but they're still fucking huge, and audio, of course. So this is important when it comes to the rise of pod journalism, or podcasting, whatever. So I'll define it. I'll give it a shot. Somebody write this down. The unpolished personal research focusing on a topic using available resources. I used to go to school. The point is that regular people, whatever their expertise, can do their research. It can be polished, that's good too. But it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that each of us, wherever we are reporters. We are the media. I mean, not everybody likes this. Some people make fun of this idea, but there's something real in the fact that we can now, using the simple tools available, report what's going on. The question is, will we? I mean, that is the question. I added this. It sheds light on something happening in the world affecting people's lives. Everything that affects our lives, especially when it comes to life, death, quality of life. We like these things, right? Good. Great. One thing about pod journalism that I've always said, and is probably the reason people don't like the term, is that I say opinion has a place. And we see that with blogs anyway, and some people rightfully fear, I'll get into that, the emergence of blogs as news because there's all that fucking opinion. But part of this sort of pod journalism is that my opinion is in there, and I'll tell you, it's no secret. I'm not writing some cryptic news report that in there I'm indoctrinating you. No, I say from the beginning, I don't like that war over there, or any war for that matter. And I say it from the beginning, and then I provide you with some observation that I can make, some real facts, some real reporting. Is it perfect? Is it the one thing you should be watching for your information? No. But we all know as internet users that the days of getting all your news from one source are over. And that's a good thing, because it's a little more work for us, but a lot of us are making tools to make it easier. But the fact is to better understand what's going on around us, if we really want to know the truth. If we're happy with the story we get, then fuck it. But if we really want to know the truth, then we need multiple sources. Therefore, just because one guy gives you news and gives a little opinion too, you don't have to take it all. You can take some of it and then go watch, go read, You decide. You make the decision, right? Very simple. I mean, I'm no fucking genius. You should see my house. It's a mess. Not a mess. No, take it back. Isn't this fucking radio journalism? Oh, wait, no, fucking, that's a bad habit. Isn't this radio journalism? Yes. Ah, great. It is. It's independent reporting using the same sort of spirit that we had in the old days of radio, because a lot of that, again, with the budget cuts and the priorities of radio stations, a lot of that has taken a back seat. And when it comes to pod journalism, you do not take a back seat. I mean, the front seat is what you get, because the goal is to do the reporting. Now, there are questions about how will you afford it. I don't know. No, I do. I know some things. I'll try and share. I said this, objectives, criticism. I think objective reporting is a myth. Now, I know because I studied German media. Somewhat. Barely. Don't ask me questions later. I know that in Germany, for example, there is this fantastic tradition, and some people really believe in it, and I think there's some real proof, that journalists are very good at keeping their opinion out, or at least being really good at reporting, compared to other countries where we really fucking suck at it. Either way, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I put Global Voices just for shits. It's a good vlog. This is commercials, really. I'm corporate. Yeah. Hold on. I'm fine. I know where I am. My sister. I don't have a sister. Okay. But I say that the whole quest, like I said before, I'm repeating, you're not going to get objective. You think you're getting objective, you're not. Okay, that's it. And of course, many people, and rightfully so, especially the professionals that work in the industry and have cushy jobs, and have experience, say, this is dangerous. What you're talking about is dangerous because now there's no solid information left. It's just opinion. It's true. This is a huge risk. Be careful out there. I'm going to hide back here. I said that, so we'll go on. Bottom up. This is not a sexual thing. I'm talking about media still. When I wrote that, I was like, bottom up. Oh, never mind. Let it ride. Okay, the beauty is you don't have managing editors telling you what to do. This is very basic. I decide what I want to do. You better be a motivated person, but we're all motivated because we're here, so that's no problem. You no longer have these managing editors telling you what you should and shouldn't do, basically. I mean, that's simple but revolutionary in many ways. I was sitting with a friend. She's not here, so I can talk about her. She works for a certain German foreign service radio that I won't mention. Deutsche Welle. And it was during World Cup time. Is she here? No. It was during World Cup time, and I was here as a blogger. Very strange. And she said to me, fucking World Cup. She normally covers immigration stories about Turkish immigrants in Berlin. And she's like, man, I sat down at a meeting, and the guy, my editor, or whatever they're called, said, could you lay off the immigration stories for a while? Everybody really is excited about the World Cup. Do a World Cup story. And she was like, fuck, I can't wait till it's over. And then I said, yeah, I was just choosing to focus on what's going on with the journalists in Nepal. You know, they're really being oppressed. And she's like, how'd you decide to do that? And I was like, I heard about it, and I'm interested, you know. And, okay, she gets paid. I don't necessarily, but at that one moment, she looked at me and she was like, that's cool. I was like, yeah. You buy dinner. Oh, this side, you buy dinner. And yes, of course, the freedom to be critical and creative. I mentioned before the old, what was it, the Exxon thing or the GE thing. I can criticize GE. Yeah, I once even was invited as a blogger to Berlin by Coca-Cola. Two. And are they here? Two. That means they're bad. Depending on the country, that could be positive. And I was invited by Coca-Cola. And I was like, shit, am I going to accept this? But they were offering like a good flat and a way to get to Berlin, which is good. It's a good. And I actually did a podcast criticizing Coca-Cola, their human rights record. I couldn't believe the irony. You know, they didn't even fucking notice. They still haven't noticed until today. But the point was, I wouldn't have accepted the offer, and I shouldn't have accepted the offer, that's the truth. But I wouldn't have accepted the offer if they had said, you can't do something. All they said to me was, just come, be in Berlin, do whatever you want, as long as you blog about it. And I was like, all right, criticizing you. And I did. I don't think people should follow that. It was a really questionable move. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Nicole was there. It was fun. So, okay, you guys want to know, I mean, do I have time? People who are actually doing this, okay? And then we'll get into the whole aspect of how do you survive this way, because how do you survive? Typical, what I call pod journalist types. None of these people think that they're pod journalists. Some of them think they're news people, they're reporters, but they don't use this name that I'm trying to push on the world. I don't care if the name dies, I really don't. You all know Josh Wolf. If you don't, well, you do. He's a media activist, I would call him, and he's in jail. I would say he's one of the biggest, in terms of blogging and online media, he's one of the biggest political prisoners in the world. China has some, but they don't get as much press. So I don't know if you've seen this video, I don't know if you're interested in this video, but it's cute. It's cute, it's good. I won't make you watch the whole thing. Just when I started, I stopped. Just so you know, I'm going to fast forward to the part. Josh was arrested. Someone here knows the story better than I do, but he was arrested when he filmed a protest. While filming a protest, there was an altercation with police, and there was some kind of police car that was damaged. This is the official story. They asked for his tape. They wanted to see the video. They heard he had some. They found his website. He refused to hand it over, as a journalist can. That's his work. That's his file footage or whatever. But, what? His what? Oh, in San Francisco, the People's Republic. That was almost a joke, but nobody calls it that. We say People's Republic of Brooklyn. It was in California. And, oh, this is good, so this is new for you. And he was arrested. He refused to hand over the video, and he was arrested under the conditions that he's not a journalist. And I could probably be arrested for similar. I don't particularly worry too much. Maybe I should. But, so let me show you the segment that, well, he films a protest. That's typical, but here's where it gets interesting. Go play. Go do your thing. It was during the G8 in the UK. They had a demonstration just sort of to show that they don't approve of the G8 meeting in San Fran. A lot of us have been to these types of events. I have. Looks pretty standard. Very standard. Is that big up there? Oh, yeah, that's pretty big.
Let's go! Let's go!
So, okay, normal barricades, that's not a big deal. Here's where I find it to be interesting. Yeah. And this is not why he was arrested. This particular footage, I don't think this is it. If you can't see...
No! He's gonna get abused if we don't stay here!
There's a police officer holding the guy down. No.
Get off of him! You're choking him! Go, move.
Get down! Beat that kid! Hey, asshole! You just walk down to the intersection. Walk down to the intersection. You just trying to lynch you. Hey, cop, you're going to jail for police brutality. 1176. Stop back up. Your career is over, Fajita boy.
Fajita boy. Is that a name for cops?
Back up.
This is weird. Note the gun being pointed at people.
Everybody, step back.
But I'm not a cop, so I don't know.
Everybody, step back.
He is not resisting arrest, and you guys are taking excessive force. And your names are documented.
Your arms behind your back. You're under arrest. Stop resisting. I said get back! Everybody get back!
It looks more like a school play.
You're shitty!
A shitty movie. And it's real. Anyway, I'm not going to let it ride. The cops chase everybody away, and it's very typical U.S. In the present, unfortunately. So Josh is in jail, not even for that particular segment, but that they knew that he had put out this footage online as a journalist, as an online journalist. This is just one example of someone who's really, fighting to be recognized as a journalist. And what happens to Josh affects my life.